rather than going the common playbook. So Web3, so my background was always a marketing and growth guy, right? So we used to create playbooks for our customers, our clients, and a lot of things. But those playbooks stopped working suddenly, right? What has eventually evolved is, as a tab builder, your task is to create an immersive experience of your creation and put out in the world, right? That can happen through various ways. You can put it out a video tutorial, yeah, and just roll it out in the market. You can gather a community, do constant community calls. You can roll out feedback forms. You can roll out feedback loops. So with Buildoor, we are just trying to create that, right? If you have a dApp, can we create an immersive experience where user can go through your dApp experience step by step? He can explore features and this and that, and eventually he reaches the end. You get the customer, but what he's getting in return, he's not motivated enough. So we're trying to create a narrative of engage to earn. So as a user, when you engage with certain features of dApps, you earn incentives, right? The best thing about our ecosystem today is we can build on economies. We can build on the fact that we can create great incentivization mechanism. But on the other side, majority of incentivized mechanisms are failing badly. I think the speaker before was talking about Chingari. Like, we have seen a downturn in that. Learn and earn projects have never scaled that way, right? When we say we want to come up with the great narratives, we've seen play to earn scale massively. We've seen like axes of the world are creating economies for certain countries. People are living their day-to-day life. So as a builder, you're gonna be great at code. You're gonna be great at your concepts and everything. But I have been spending my whole past 2-3 years on understanding how can we crack this whole game of engagement economy, right? Creator economy is great. Everyone is talking about that. But nobody's talking about engagement and retention on our projects, right? So the whole point was to come here. I'm actually roaming around here for 2-3 days. I've tried speaking to a few of you. I'll be here for next 2-3 days as well. I want you to come to me or maybe find me out and speak about your projects and see how can I add value to your projects, right? Because today, tomorrow, demo day, you're gonna present it to investors. After that, you need to take it out to the world, right? Or distribute. Folks at InstaDapp has done it nicely, right? They've been best at India and then represented globally, raised capital, and have scaled, right? Versus there are great projects which were presented in hackathons, they were scaled. So you'll have to decide where you want to stand. And when we say engagement economy, I think this should be the first, like after the product, this should be the first thing in your mind as a builder, that how do we crack this, right? Any questions, please? We have like 5 minutes. Go for it. You can say, I'll. Mhm. No. So I'll tell you, right? So we executed a campaign with a very reputed chain. This campaign was costed around, so we created a bounty of like $30,000, and we wanted to aim 30 ambassadors for that. That's it, right? But for that, we have curated like 15,000 people on our wait list, shortlisted 1,500 people out of them. We were trying to find those 30 people who can become the representatives of the particular program. Now, the whole point was when you put up incentive in front of a person. So let's consider this as a very normal use case. When I give you a water bottle, right? You're gonna drink it for sure, but you will still like leave it halfway and just put it on the table and walk it out. The moment you put $10 from your pocket, you will consume it completely. This is a very normal mindset of a consumer. If you're getting something for free, you will not take it that seriously, right? With incentives, that adds up to a next level where you're making money, right? You've found out ways to make money. You know that you need to complete this 10 steps and you're gonna get incentivized, right? Now your mind somehow works in a way that you start finding out hacks if you are not serious about that particular product. Now here, the problem was not the customer was actually lazy or something. Here the problem was the target market was wrong, right? So if I know that my adopters are sitting here And if I try to motivate them, if I try to create incentivized mechanism for only this audience and I never show up to you guys, I think that gonna be the best way for it. When we put out something in the world, we try to engage with anyone and everyone, right? When we create community channels like Discord or we open up our Twitter accounts, we try to bring in audience. But filtered audience is something that's gonna make more sense when you're trying to create a narrative or create an incentivization mechanism for your projects. So it's just target market and target group of consumers which gonna differ, which will enhance your success ratio with respect to the adoption. Correct. Mhm. So eventually, I think everyone in the ecosystem has been doing that through education initiatives. Somehow, when we put up a word about our project on our socials or on communities, we make sure that we make things easier and less jargonful, right? When we try to gather that set of audience, the moment I'm saying adopter, so adopter here, so one is your audience, right? You have like massive audience of 20,000, 50,000, a million or so, but you're gonna have a concise amount of adopters who are gonna engage on your app daily, the daily active user count, right? That gonna be more targeted and that gonna be more synchronized. So when I say I want to incentivize builders, when I want to incentivize end customer, I don't want to incentivize a million people today. I want to bring in million people to the product for sure, but I want to incentivize the right consumer, right? If you're interested in gaming, I don't want to promote NFTs or I don't want to promote decentralized finance application to you. So this can eventually evolve in product with respect to a good algorithms and good search mechanisms and things like that, which is your job as a builder to figure out. Yeah. Any other questions? Please. Mhm. Correct. Okay, interesting. So one of my so Kevin leads growth. There's another person who contributes to growth has suggested a very interesting concept to me. Do you guys understand what is sleeper cell? Yeah, it's for the wrong terms for sure. But if we take it in the positive way, I don't want to call them ambassadors, right? I want to so basically consider group of 5 people. Every group of 5 people, if you have one person who is not trying to represent your project, but who is vocal about your project, who puts that word out constantly in the community, who is passionate and things like that. So you need to curate those. In fact, every project has. Have you heard about the initiative called Matic Mitra? They had their early ambassadors back then to pull this whole game on, right? Ambassadors are something that you figure out on the go. When you say that this curve is should be like pretty good, here there's a term called friction versus oxygen, right? When you're creating some product, try to understand, is this a friction today or an oxygen? It's okay if it's a friction, but you'll have to solve in that particular way. And that friction can be solved using such initiatives, that is ambassador programs. I don't want to call it sleeper cell, it's a bad word for sure. But you'll have to plant right people who will talk about your projects and try to engage their circles in that particular thing. It's the whole volume game, right? And eventually, if you're building something great, the adopters will adopt it. Like in Web 2, I think the first app I've downloaded was PhonePe, and I've never downloaded Paytm or any other app. I think it's very similar mindset. I've heard a lot of people are building tools around same thing, right? But what makes you unique is something that's gonna keep your consumers attracted toward your product. So that's it. I hope I answered. If you still want to talk more, I'm around. But I think we can wind up. If one more question you want to take.
Yeah, we can take up one more question.
Anyone has? It's all right. Find me, ask for any sort of help. Marketing growth is my forte. I can definitely help you out. do check out Buildoor, join our waitlist. And yes, one last thing I want to say, if you guys definitely showing up on demo day, I want to attend that for sure if possible. And we are also creating a category called starters on our alpha, which gonna feature the beginner dApps or beginner projects. So please connect with me. I'm urging because we want to showcase great projects from India to the audience that we are targeting. And there we won't be expecting any sort of compensations or something like that. We just want to help the community to basically take out those. It's kind of launchpad, but I don't want to call it a launchpad. It's a starter showcase platform, right? So that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, see ya.
Thanks a lot, Saurabh.